y'all? What's up? We are back for the episode. I think everybody has, I don't think this is a shock. I don't think anybody would disagree with this. But this is the episode I think everybody has been waiting on besides the Jocelyn and Baddies ones. The Bad Girls, the OG Bad Girls versus the Baddies. And I feel like we all were on the same page, rooting for the Bad Girls. But this episode wasn't bad per se. I think it was one of the better episodes, probably because we were anticipating the Rollie and Bree fight. Bree, good Lord. I'm going to get into that later, but Bree, she disappointed herself for me because she played right into her game. That's how Rollie wins fights. But we'll get to that later on. Thumbs up the video. Y'all know what to do. Please engage. Please engage. Even if y'all don't watch certain videos that I do post about other shows, if you love me, just thumbs up the video real quick. You don't even have to drop a comment, but just thumbs up the video real quick. But do the same on here. I know y'all probably going to have some commentary in regards to this particular one. So please run up the engagement, thumbs up the video, drop the comments. If you are new here, you clicked on the video, you like what you saw, you wanted to see something about it, and I'm going to be here. I'm going to be talking about these type of shows. So please hit that subscribe button for me. That's all I'm going to ask. It's free of charge. I'm not going to ask you for nothing else. But please just thumbs up the video, drop a comment, subscribe if you are new, and let's go. All right, so we got the Baddies versus the Bad Girls. Natalie's team. She's the baddie captain. We've got Scotty, Rollie, Mariah, Tesehki, Sidney, Starr, and Saya. Mehgan's team is my favorite team. We got Mehgan. Love Mehgan. Love Mehgan. I love what she's doing on not Bad Girls, Basketball Wives Orlando. If y'all have not watched that, go check it out. Because I heard they're getting to season 2. Season 1 was great. The whole cast was good. Everybody contributed. And Mehgan is pretty much the head honcho over there. She's the reason she got all the girls together. She's the reason why that franchise started. So Mehgan's doing good. Mehgan's doing what Natalie should be wanting to do. Mehgan's kind of branded herself outside of Bad Girls Club, even though we all know her from Bad Girls Club, but she's branding herself to a lane that's not just about Bad Girls Club and it's not about fighting. We got Kat. Love Kat. If you've been watching me since last season, you know Kat's one of my favorites from Bad Girls Club. She still is one of my favorites, even from going on Baddies. People felt like she didn't do enough, but she did enough for me. She didn't get on the show embarrassing herself. She didn't get on the show trying to be something because she's been a bad girl and this is what the show is about, is fighting. She's grown. She acted like she was grown. She acted like the businesswoman that she is. And she's classy. She's beautiful. She was Kat. Bree, we're going to get on Bree later. We're going to get on her later. She disappointed. she disappointed herself and she disappointed me. 7, you already know that's my wife. If you've been watching me from the beginning of my YouTube journey, which was the first show I've covered was Baddies ATL. I've been rocking with 7 since Bad Girls Club. I love 7. She's beautiful. She can fight. She another one. She does not get on the show trying to prove something. She doesn't get on the show trying to be something that she's not. 7 is who 7 is, and she don't get on the show doing that. And I love how she came on this show still being herself. She's trying her best to kind of change her narrative too. 7 outside of BGC, she was fighting a lot too in the streets. And she's in this stage in her life. If you don't watch her YouTube, go watch it. She's trying not to fight anymore. You could tell she was not trying to be on that type of time here. Low London, we just saw her from Baddies West. She's beautiful as well. Love her energy. She didn't get on the show embarrassing herself, even though she got her ass beat by Krishan, but whatever. Janelle, love Janelle, same thing. And Jela. We already know about Jela, and we're going to see Jela on Caribbeans. So, loved it. That's a good cast. That's a strong team. But they all end up arriving. Y'all know how they do, showing that. They showed a flashback to Baddies ATL, which I love seeing that, honestly, because it takes me back from my first time reviewing the show, takes me back to my first thing doing something on YouTube. But they show that Mehgan saying that Natalie is still stuck in the box, which is still true. Natalie is still about to be 40 years old, still with this bad girl's persona, which has now been transferred into Baddies. But they get the backstage. Sidney is talking about how happy she is to be back. And she's happy that she's around the Baddies because everybody thought that they hated her, which we do think that. And we know that they do, even though Natalie was sitting there trying to act like Nobody thinks that. Yeah, you can see it all over Natalie's face that she does feel that way. She still does. She's only there, I guess, to fulfill the role. And Rollie was sitting there looking like she did not want to be bothered with Sidney at all. And it makes sense considering everything that happens later on. But Jela ends up telling the bad girls that the viewers know who got the hands, who got the most viral spikes, and they come from BGC, and we know that. We know that Jela is one of the ones that's an iconic BGC fighter. Mehgan is, Seven is, Bree kind of was, and Janelle is she's an iconic personality from Bad Girls Club. So every girl, and I think did I miss somebody from Bad Girls and Low London? She's an iconic personality. So all the girls that are on here and Kat have had moments where they're super remembered. So Jela is right in regards to that. But they show the stats. Natalie has 2.4 million Instagram followers to Mehgan's 1.2 million. Natalie's been on 15 plus reality shows. Mehgan's been on 10 different reality shows. I didn't know she was on 10 different ones though. I know she's been on a couple, but I didn't know she was on 10. They both have 5+ beefs, 26 Natalie appearances to 11 Mehgan appearances on BGC type shows. Both of them have not been arrested. Natalie has not dated Rob Kardashian, but Mehgan supposedly has. So we get to the show. We get to the stage. The Lizard, if you don't know who I'm talking about, Lemon Pepper, introduces Nick, who then introduces French Montana. French Montana performs. I skipped it, obviously. Skipped the first one. The last one was good because it took me back. And if you a millennial like me, I'm about to be 29 years old, so that dates myself. But the ending song, if you are from my type of era, you know why that song was lit. Like, that song was lit. And it took me back whenever it played. I didn't watch it, but I was listening to it while I was setting everything up to get ready to get on here. But Nick introduces Courtney B, who introduces Big Ant. You already know the drill. And Nick brings out Natalie's team first. Natalie and the Baddies got the crowd chanting Baddie, Baddie, shot a clock. The crowd was with it. They was really with it. They was out there chanting it back with him. But Natalie introduces her team, obviously. Nick then brings out Team Wild. That's the BGC OGs. Mehgan introduces her team. Everybody got some pretty decent applause. Jela, she wasn't even out there. I didn't realize she wasn't out there until Mehgan announced her. And she comes running out. The crowd is hype, and they chanting OGs because Jela got them chanting it. So it's equal. You can see the crowd is there for both sets, the Baddies and the BGC OGs. And everybody's kind of shocked because Jela is a baddie, even though Seven and Mehgan and who else? Kat and Lo and Bree. Everybody else was baddies. Like, all the bad girls that they brought back have been baddies, apart from Mehgan, who she wasn't considered a baddie because she wasn't a full cast member. She made an appearance. But every bad girl that was there was on Bad Girls Club or on Baddies. So whatever. But they made a big deal about Jela not being on the Baddies team. But Sidney got on the mic talking about they brought the most boring bitch back. She's talking about Jela. But they finally sit down and begin the games. The first game that they played was Bad Bingo. Courtney's going to call out a random item from a bowl, and they have to grab a ball and stick it on whatever the item is that she's calling out that they've done. So the people from their team, they run up if they've done it, get a ball, try to stick it up there first. Whichever team gets their ball up there first wins the point, I guess, or gets their ball on there to get the point. So the first team to 5 in a row or the most balls wins, which once they got to 5, I would have stopped because they kept on going, but whatever. They wanted to get through all of them, so we'll run through all of them. The first one is they let a man cum in them and took a plan B. Most of them went running. Mehgan's team got the ball up there first. The next one was had sex in their parents' bed. Most of them went running. The bad girls got it again. Dated somebody in the studio. So somebody in the studio. The bad girls got it. Scotty tried not to run. I don't know if y'all caught it, but she tried not to run up there. I'm like, Scotty, stop playing. Like, get her. You should have been the first one up there. You're the miss. Y'all know how she always talks about, that's the athlete in me. She should have been the first one up there. But she tried to play it coy. We already knew. Mehgan got the point, and she ends up going and pointing out the person in the audience because Nick wanted to know who it was. Some dude in the audience, which I'm assuming probably was her boyfriend. I feel like she probably brought him, and that's who it was. But the next one was had their man taken from them. Sidney ended up getting it. She goes up against Janelle and Kat. She put it in the wrong spot, so the bad girls got it. The next question was that they were a hoe in their past life. Of course, Mariah Lynn jumps up first because of her song. Scotty ran up there. Every bad girl but Seven ran up there. Nick ran up there. We know you a hoe in your past and your present life, and probably your future life. But the baddies got that one. Squirted on somebody was the next one. Lo got up there first. The bad girls got that. If you've tasted truffle butter, I think that's what they said. Scotty and Mariah Lynn got up there first, but could not get the ball to stick. So the bad girls got it again. If you've masturbated in the last 48 hours was the next one. Natalie got up there blocking everybody, and she got it. The next one was if you had a threesome, everybody ran up there. Bad girls got that one again. The next one is if they're wearing their real hair. That one was funny. Jela said, all y'all sit your ass down. But Jela, Saya, and Seven were the only girls up there that was wearing their real hair. The next one was if you've broken up a relationship. This one was interesting too. Scotty, of course, ran up there. Bree ran up there. That's not shocking. Mehgan ran up there. That's not shocking. Janelle ran up there. That's not shocking. And Lo ran up there. That one is a little bit, but it's not really that shocking. And the next one was if you've had more than one baby daddy. Nobody was running up there. They were always trying to run because they was trying to cheat. But Kat ran up there knowing she ain't got no kid. And of course, Natalie goes up there talking about, you ain't got no kid, you ain't got no kid. So they cheat now. At this point, that's when I was like, y'all cheating. But that's when I would have stopped the game. But the last one was pull up if you watch porn more than twice a week. Damn near everybody got up there. But the bad girls won that game. The second game is Name That Trick. Nick gives them a name. He gives them the name of a celebrity. And they have to do their best impression or give a quote from that celebrity. And the team has to guess it. And if the team guesses it in time, they get a point. So the team that gets the most points wins. Bree was up first. And then they call up Rollie. And I'm like, boom, here's the setup. Because we already knew they had beef. And I'm like, here's the setup for the fight. And Bree immediately runs up. She runs up and she jumps. So as she jumps, Rollie swings. And it's like they both swung twice, but Bree was jumping, so she had to land. And Rollie was swinging. So by that point, her up in the air while Rollie's swinging, she's bound to fall. And that's exactly what happened. She fell. The wig dropped with her. And I was like, Bree, no. So at this point, I was begging for another round. But the girls jumped up. They broke it up. Bree gets up and she's ready for another round. And security's blocking them at this point. So security then finally moves out the way. And I'm like, yes, finally, Bree, redeem yourself. Run up, stick her, and keep sticking her in her face. That's what I'm thinking. Run up and just start jabbing. Bree runs up and she's connecting, but she allows herself to run up, swing, let Rollie get her head and pull it down. And as she's pulling it down, Bree is swinging and she's connecting the first couple times on Rollie, but they're not damaging punches because she's literally hitting Rollie like right here. She might hit Rollie right here on the top of her shoulder. She might have got a couple shots on the head, but nothing too damaging because Rollie is literally swinging. She got her head down too, but essentially she's got Bree's head down, so she can really see what she's doing. Boy, she got to swinging Bree. She swung Bree, and Bree was keeping up with her in the second round for this part. But once she swung Bree, she slung her around, and Bree's face was wide open. She had a nice opportunity to get a face shot. Most people would have missed, and I thought Rollie would have missed because Rollie be swinging with her head down. But Rollie got a good, clean hit on her face, and nobody was around. Everybody, because you see Seven and them like pushing everybody back. Nobody was around, and security had to come jump in because the minute she slung and knocked her clean in her face, I was like, fuck, Bree, you getting fucked up at this point. So security comes in and breaks it up. Jayla's face was mine. Jayla was like, you could tell she probably was shocked. Like, Bree, you just let her do that to you? Because that was my impression. I was like, wow, Bree literally let her do that to her. So I'm like, please get another round. Please get another round. And Rollie's sitting there talking about something that they could have been on fraud in Vegas because they both live in Vegas, pretty much trying to insinuate that Bree is scary. And I don't think Bree is scary. Bree will fight. We've seen that she will fight on BGC. We saw that one fight where she fought that other girl. I can't think of her name from Bad Girls Club. Fought her in the streets. Bree will fight. That's one thing I will say. So she's not scared. And I wasn't thinking that she was scared of Rollie, even though that's what Rollie wanted everybody to believe. But Rollie told her to gather herself and we can go another round. And that's exactly what happened. Bree ran up again. This time she pissed me off because she ran up and did the same thing again. I'm like, you literally did it twice and it didn't work. You got to try another strategy. And the strategy that I said is the strategy she should have did. She should have ran up and started jabbing her. Don't run up so close to where you allow her to get your head. And that's what Rollie was doing. As she's swinging, Rollie is grabbing her head, which is so punk-like. But that's Rollie's tactic. That's the only way Rollie knows how to fight. And that's the only way she ends up winning fights is by grabbing you and getting your head. And while she gets your head, she starts swinging. And that's literally what happened. And she got the best of Bree again. She was getting her ass, and security and everybody else had to break it up. So now they got Rollie's head pumped up because she just embarrassed Bree. And Rollie's wig's off. Apparently, Rollie and Sidney got into it. I couldn't see. But Sidney's wig was off too. It was all disheveled, and she's trying to get it on. Natalie ends up bringing Rollie's raggedy self to the front of the stage, raising her hand as the winner because essentially she did. I don't like her, but let's keep it real. Like, she did get the best of both of them girls, and Bree embarrassed herself, and she embarrassed me. I'm not a Bree fan per se. I don't dislike Bree, but I'm not like one of them ones that's like a champion for Bree. But I was expecting Bree to really put that work in on Rollie, and that's not what happened. But they take Bree backstage. She's talking about Rollie's 3 times her size. That is true, but still, I don't care. You could be 3 times my size. I'm still not going to let you get the best of me. Like, if I'm going to fight you and I already have beef with you, I'm not going to let that be my excuse. Like, I'm still going to win, and I'm going to make sure I win because I know the tactics. But Bree said that. Sidney gets taken backstage. They try to take her backstage at first, I guess, to check on Bree, but she comes back out and they begin the next game. So Tesehki and Kat, they go out. Well, not the next game. It's the game that they were supposed to be doing. But Tesehki and Kat, they are the first ones. They have to do Cardi B. Both of them did weak impressions, but Kat's was more thought out. So I would have given it to her, but they ended up giving it to the baddies. The crowd didn't even know who to give it to, especially for most of these. Saya and Seven went up next. They had to act like Mehgan James, who's on the stage. Saya ends up going around saying, she messy, so what? I'm messy, so what? Seven does the iconic, anybody want to fight? And, of course, the bad girls got that one. Mariah Lynn and Low London go up doing the best Ice Spice impression. This was cringy to me, as a lot of these were. Both of them get up literally rapping her lyrics and twerking. The crowd was dead. No, that's what made it super cringy, even though it was cringe by itself. But the fact that the crowd was not even interacting or reacting to anything or giving them any kind of encouragement made it so cringe to watch. But they gave that to the baddies. Scotty and Jela, this one probably was the best one. Both of them got up, had to do the best version of Natalie Nunn. Of course, they would know how to do it because they are like this with Natalie, even though I think Natalie and Jela are more like this. Scotty and Natalie are more like this because Natalie, I feel like Natalie at least respects Jela. And she knows better than to try and get into it with Jela. Whereas with Scotty, she don't respect Scotty. And she knows if they do fight, she can get the best of Scotty. Even though Scotty got the best of her the last time they fought, she know not to try that shit with Jela. But Jela runs around screaming she run LA and she get into the bag. And then she start acting like how Natalie be trying to act tough and hood. That's how she was. And that had me weak. But Scotty also did something that was pretty funny. Gets up and starts blowing the vape in Jayla's face like Natalie be doing. So they both did it well, but they gave it to the baddies. Mehgan and Natalie had to act like Oprah. They both did the you get a, and Natalie did the you get a car, but Mehgan flipped it and said you get a baby and started pointing. And Nick was like, I feel like you talking about me. Yeah, we know. You got plenty of them. But the baddies won that game. So it was 1-1. The third game they played was Grope the Rope, which is essentially tug of war. They had a little kiddie pool in the middle. They have to pull the rope and pull each other. And immediately I knew which team was going to win because you look at the baddies and you look at the bad girls. The bad girls, you got Seven, Janelle, Low, Mehgan, Kat, Jela, Bree. Well, Bree wasn't out there, but those ones versus a big-ass Rollie, a strong-ass Tesehki, a strong-ass Natalie, a pretty built Scotty, Saya, Sidney, Starr. They was going to lose, and that's exactly what happened. Both rounds, they all went down. So we'll skip past that. The bonus round was standing on business. As we all know what that is, I don't have to go over the instructions, but This was whack. Honestly, I was like, everything about this was corny to me. But Natalie says all them hoes sitting there trying to act hood. All them hoes thought they was gonna do their big one, screaming per usual, acting fake hood. Kat gets up there, says that Natalie's wearing the Baddies attire and on the Baddies team, knowing damn well she's the OG bad girl, which is true. Saya says that, and this was cool because Saya actually got to show personality. We got to see more of her because on Baddies we didn't get to see it because she wasn't there long enough. But she said she don't want to roast them because she would rather taste them. I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's not shocking. But Seven gets up there and says she loves what Baddies has done, but it would not exist if BGC did not. And that is a fact. Simply put, it's a fact. And nobody on that stage can say anything else about it. Rollie says that she heard that Nick was looking for a new baby mama, and we know why you looking. You looking for your next meal ticket. That's what that is. Mehgan ends up saying that she heard Saya was straight for pay. Saya said not today. Jela said that you want to call her handsome squibber, but her face card never declines. That is true. Mariah Lynn was up there being corny. Janelle was talking about rich people getting their bodies done. Tesehki and Seven, the two Maryland girls, get up there. And Tesehki said, which one do y'all like more, DC or Baltimore? Because Seven's from DC, Tesehki's from Baltimore. And Rollie ends it by saying that they have the #1 show on Zeus. Duh. But Ant goes out there and crowns the Baddies as the winners. I would have given it to the bad girls. But, of course, the Baddies are going to get it because they're on Zeus. Come on, let's be for real. But backstage, we get backstage. The bad girls go check up on Bree. She says she's more mad because Rollie pulls hair. That is true. I'd have been pissed off about that too, but I think she's more mad because she embarrassed herself. And then Rollie and Sidney are backstage fighting again. That was it. And then French Montana, he performed. Like I said, at the end, that was the best performance that they've had so far because it was a song that we all know. And that's a song that's going to always go because it's going to always go in the club. But that was the end of the episode. This one, like I said, we have more to talk about. This one was a little bit better, but the show itself is still, it's not good. It's not good. And it's the games. I feel like it's the games. The crowd, they need to get more like crowd interaction. Like they need to like, before they start filming the show, even if the crowd's not feeling it, they need to like train them to start getting hype. Like, you know how like when you go to a real TV show, they got the crew down there that hypes up the crowd and be like, okay, when we doing this, I need y'all to start doing this. That would help keep the momentum, but the games itself, they got to go to the drawing board because the crowd, I don't blame them. I would have been bored too, and I probably wouldn't have been saying nothing either. The crowd looked bored. A lot of the time you look at the crowd, they looked bored. That's why they weren't reacting, which falls back on Zeus. Zeus, y'all need to figure out what type of games y'all want to do that are actually going to be entertaining to watch. And y'all need to know when to cut it because a lot of these games go on too long to the point where it really becomes boring and the girls even get bored. But that's all I got to say. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Let me know who the real thoughts are is the fight. So let me know what y'all's thoughts are in regards to Rollie and Bree. Please thumbs up the video. Please do that. Drop a comment. Please do that just to say, hey, what's up? And subscribe if you are new here. I'm here. And check out Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Y'all like good looking black people that come. It's completely different than this show. It's completely different. It's a lot of more higher end black people of probably around my age group. They all go to a house for the summertime, summer house in Martha's Vineyard. It's on Bravo. It's co-ed. It's men and women. As y'all know, there's intertwining of relationships, not relationships. It's mess. It's a bunch of stuff going on. It's a bunch of drama. It's good TV. So if y'all want to watch it, watch it. It comes on at 9 o'clock. And I will be back later on today doing another recap. And like I said, if y'all don't watch it, and y'all just support me, just thumbs up the video. Just do that. You don't even have to watch it. Just thumbs up the video because you see me post it. But that's all I got to say. I will see y'all next week. Peace.